Hello fellow Shadows, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about how in The Rise of Skywalker, they kind of showed us, fans, that we don't need to, that once a Jedi passes, they don't only have to communicate with the people that they interacted with in their entire lives, that they can interact with people that they haven't met in their personal lives. Because in The Rise of Skywalker, spoilers ahead, they had it where when Rey was down after she kind of got part of her life sucked out of her by her grandpappy, she pretty much called out to the Jedi. She heard Luke's voice, but that's like really the only Jedi that she has met while while he was alive. But other Jedi like Mace Windu, Luminara, Ahsoka Tano, you heard me right, Ahsoka, Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker. 6, and I'm probably forgetting a few, but at least 6 out of the 7 Jedi that I mentioned, because I'm bringing Luke Skywalker as the 7th. The 6 out of the 7 Jedi that I've just mentioned has not interacted with Rey when they were alive. When they were alive, at least it was the exclusion of like possibly Ahsoka and definitely Luke. When these Jedi were alive that were speaking to Rey, Rey wasn't even a thought. She wasn't even in her mother's womb. Yeah, Palpatine probably had his son already by the time that a lot of these Jedi has died. And who would bang Darth Sidious with that face that he had after, like, he got struck by lightning by Mace Windu, or he got his lightning deflected back on him, I should say. But that was an unfair pass I did on Darth Sidious. But so since most of these Jedi that has been calling out to Rey in that one particular area has lived during the Clone Wars, and Mace Windu maybe shortly after the Clone Wars, because it has not really been confirmed whether or not he has died, like in his fight with Darth Sidious in the Supreme Chancellor office on the last day of the Clone Wars, or if he died or survived that incident. But most of these Jedi, as far as we know, lived throughout the Clone Wars, died at the very end of the Clone Wars, with the exception of Anakin, who died at the end of the war against the Empire, and Ahsoka, who lived past that war, who we don't exactly know when she died, but this movie kind of confirms by this time she had died. So, and Qui-Gon Jinn was the only Jedi out there who was not a Clone Wars veteran. But besides the point. Because the reason why I'm making this video, because for 40-ish years, not even 40 years, we've always assumed that Jedi only interacted with the people that they had interactions with when they were alive. Qui-Gon interacted with Yoda and later Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan and Yoda interacted with Luke Skywalker, and even though we didn't see this on screen, Anakin probably interacted with Luke a few times in between the events of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. At least a few times. He had to interact with Luke and Leia at least like 10, I will have to guess. I'm just throwing a random number out there for Anakin, seeing how Luke and Leia are his children, and at least one interaction with both of them present. Maybe another with Leia. I've heard that in the comics, he potentially tried to make contact with Leia, but she didn't want to, and I can understand why she wouldn't want to interact with Anakin, because he did help in the destruction of her homeworld, and for that reason, regardless if Darth Vader was her father or not, I can't blame her for not wanting to talk to the first ghost of her father, even if he turned sides. So yeah. So yeah, long story short, and the point of this, like, so for, I'm trying to gather my thoughts and putting them into words at the same time. Clearly ain't working. But yeah, on the big screen, it's like primarily the main like original trilogy uh with Obi-Wan, with Luke. We've seen Force Ghosts interacting with only people that they knew in their lives when they were alive. Qui-Gon Jinn in the Clone Wars, in the Mortis storyboard arc with Anakin and Ahsoka. Luke Skywalker the in the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that point might get debunked, kinda, cause later on you hear Luke's voice talking to Rey along with the other Jedi Masters but the other Jedi Masters hasn't really met her. Still, Obi-Wan, I forgot Obi-Wan. Like, in terms of one of those voices I interjects. Both the Ian McGregor Obi-Wan and the Alice Guinness Obi-Wan, the old Ben Kenobi version, talks to her as well. Which is cool. That part is one of my favorite parts, to be honest. Because we get to, like, yeah, that was fan service, letting us hear some of the characters from the past, back when Star Wars was in its prime. But still, that was really good. I like that. So yeah, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and that scene alone kind of tells us, yeah, once you go to those Force Ghosts, if you are a Jedi and can go to the Force Ghost, you can interact with people that you have met in your life, so that hasn't taken away. It's just they expanded it, saying, pretty much with that scene, saying, hey, yeah, we can communicate with the people that you haven't really talked to. And yes, that I know that might be a somewhat different context of what we got in like the original trilogy of Star Wars with Obi-Wan and Luke, but if we heard the Jedi of the past, that pretty much ancient Jedi practically, plus Luke, who has talked to Rey in that one scene, what makes you think that Jedi from other eras couldn't talk to, like, Jedi from other eras? Like, let's say, there was a Jedi called, Hamadaka, who was in the Old Republic. This Jedi Master Hamadaka could have easily talked to Anakin in, like, Attack of the Clones, somewhere in the Clone Wars, or in Revenge of the Sith, or even just, like, somewhere in the original trilogy era, because even then, that technically wouldn't be the first time if we're talking about, like, depending on what stage of the Clone Wars and then Revenge of the Sith and then so after that before he died, it wouldn't be the first time when someone had died and communicated through him through the Force. I mean, we got Qui-Gon in the Mortis series, it really story arc in the Clone Wars, so yeah, that's not really a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of things we don't know about Darth Vader's, like, there are a lot of things that we don't know about Darth Vader that could be explained in, like, comic books, games, or whatever. And maybe this Jedi Master Yamazaki could be talking to Darth Vader, trying to bring him back to the light. I don't know. Of course, I'm making up the Jedi Master's name because I have not read anything where I've seen a Jedi Master Hamasaki, like Quisinto Hamasaki. I don't know. Even though, yeah, that sounds Japanese, but, or Chinese, whatever. But, you know. So, long story short, our knowledge about whatever question we had, can the Jedi only interact with people that they had met in their lifetime? If you're still asking yourself that question, the answer is no. Well, yes and no. Yes, they can interact with the people they interacted with in their lifetime, but no, in terms of, is that their limit? Because they can't then talk to anyone. And that kind of raises the question, when Obi-Wan was telling Luke to run in the Death Star after Luke, Leia, and Han saw him getting murdered by Darth Vader, why didn't Leia or Han hear his voice? Or Chewbacca? Why was it only Luke? Or did they hear Obi-Wan's voice as well, just ignored it? I don't know. It kind of does, at least in my mind, raises those questions too. If I'm not trying to demote how cool this is, just long story short, I can see. Yeah, it kind of does raise that question, and I'm not trying to poke holes at this, but I do feel like that is one of the good things that came out of The Rise of Skywalker. Whether you hate it, disliked it in any way, or liked it in any way, gotta admit that was a pretty cool part of the movie. Yeah, what happens right afterwards might have been kind of cheesy and potentially stupid, but that little part where all the Jedi from the past talks to Rey, that little segment of that scene was cool. Can't deny that. That was cool. And it also confirms that Ahsoka Tano is dead, practically. So, when has Ahsoka died? Because she clearly survives the Clone Wars era, the prequel era, the original trilogy era. So when has she died? Did she die shortly before the War Against the First Order came? Did she die shortly after the War Against the First Order happened? Did she die while the events of the Force Awakens / The Last Jedi happened? Because I'm saying slash because The Last Jedi picks up right after the Force Awakens. So did she die in about then? And was her death practically new in the Star Wars universe? Because the Rise of Skywalker supposedly takes a year after The Last Jedi. Or did she die off 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi? Who knows? I want to know now. So yeah, I do find it cool that once you transcend your essence into the Force, after you die, your body dies, but your spirit is in the Force, living among the Force, and you're choosing to extend your consciousness after death and talking to people after you die. I think it's cool that once you are a Force ghost, only talking to the people that you had interactions with while you were living is not your only. It's not the limitation. You can practically talk to anyone. Which, again, was kind of creates my fan question, which is not a bad thing. Why didn't Obi-Wan talk to Darth Vader after he died on the Death Star? Or maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes to the canon in terms of the books or the comic books. So if Obi-Wan had, leave a comment below. But as far as I know, Obi-Wan never did that, and I don't think Obi-Wan would do that, especially when after he told Luke, if you go face Vader, you have to do it alone. I cannot interfere. So that could be multiple. That could be. I don't know. So Anyways, what do you guys think about this whole? Once a Jedi transform into a Force ghost, I'm going to rephrase this. What do you guys think about this whole thing? Do you guys think that little scene that I'm referring to in the Rise of Skywalker indicates that once you go into the Force, that your only limitation, there's like really no limitations as who you can talk to? Or do you think the only limitation is you can only talk to the people that you had interacted in your life? Leave a comment below in which theory you think is more probable, and I'll see you guys soon. And may the Force be with us all.